Welcome back to Greatness Unlocked. If you find any value here, I humbly ask that you hit the like and subscribe. The perils of procrastination. Today, I want to talk about something that all of us have struggled with at one point or another: procrastination. Some people like to laugh it off as a harmless quirk. Others wear it like a badge of honor, claiming they work best under pressure. But the truth is, procrastination is not a harmless quirk. It is, in fact, one of the greatest enemies of success. It is a silent thief of time, of peace, of potential, and of purpose. And if left unchecked, procrastination can do real damage to our mental health, our physical well-being, our education, our careers, our finances, and even our spiritual lives. Let's begin with a simple truth. Procrastination is the enemy of success. Success in any area of life requires discipline, consistency, and intentional effort. But procrastination convinces us to delay the very actions that would bring us closer to our goals. It whispers, "You have time. Do it later." And later often becomes never. The Bible warns us about this attitude. In Proverbs 6:9-11, we are asked, "How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man." These verses remind us that putting things off, choosing idleness over action, leads to lack and loss. The stress of time constraints. One of the most immediate consequences of procrastination is the unnecessary stress it creates. Think about it. When you have a task due in 2 weeks, you could start working on it today, little by little, and finish with time to spare. But procrastination convinces us to push it off until the last possible moment. Suddenly, instead of 2 weeks, you have 2 days, or even 2 hours. Now the task that could have been manageable becomes overwhelming. The pressure mounts, the anxiety builds, and your mind and body are thrown into survival mode. This stress is entirely avoidable, yet procrastination ensures that we experience it again and again. Ecclesiastes 11:4 says, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." In other words, if you keep waiting for the perfect moment to act, you'll never get anything done. And while you wait, the harvest of your efforts slips away. The mental and emotional toll. Procrastination is more than a poor time management habit. It is deeply connected to our emotional and mental well-being. Increased stress and anxiety. When deadlines loom and tasks pile up, we carry chronic tension. Our thoughts race, our sleep suffers, and worry becomes our constant companion. Depression. Studies have shown that procrastination is linked to higher symptoms of depression. The cycle looks like this. We put things off. We feel guilty for putting them off. Our self-esteem drops, and then we feel even less motivated to act. Lowered self-esteem. Every time we fail to follow through on something we intended to do, we send ourselves the message, "I can't be trusted to keep commitments." Over time, this erodes our confidence. Guilt and shame. Perhaps the most painful emotions tied to procrastination are guilt and shame. Not only do we let ourselves down, But sometimes we let others down too. This is why procrastination is not just a scheduling problem. It's an emotional regulation problem. We avoid tasks because they feel uncomfortable, but the relief is temporary. The long-term consequences, stress, self-doubt, guilt, are far worse than the discomfort we were trying to escape. James 4:17 speaks directly to this dynamic. If anyone knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. Procrastination is not only unwise, it is a form of neglect, of failing to do what we know is right in the moment. The physical costs. But procrastination doesn't only harm the mind, it also takes a toll on the body. Chronic stress from last-minute scrambling can disrupt sleep. Many people lie awake at night worrying about unfinished tasks. This leads to fatigue, poor concentration, and irritability. Weaken the immune system. Stress hormones, when elevated for long periods, reduce the body's ability to fight illness. Affect heart health. Research has shown a link between procrastination and higher blood pressure, even poorer cardiovascular health. Delay medical care. Procrastinators don't just put off work, they often put off important health checkups and treatments, sometimes until it's too late. So procrastination doesn't just rob us of time, it can rob us of health and even years of life. The academic struggle. Among students, procrastination is rampant and devastating. Lower grades. The correlation between procrastination and poor academic performance is well established. The later you start, the lower the quality of the work. Poor task performance. Rushed work is rarely excellent work. Errors multiply when there's no time to revise. Missed opportunities. Scholarships, internships, and research opportunities are lost because applications are delayed. Increased illness. Interestingly, one study found that procrastinating students reported less stress at the beginning of the semester, but far more stress and more illness by the end of it. Again, Scripture affirms this principle. Proverbs 10:4 says, "Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth." In other words, diligence, consistent, timely effort is what leads to success, not last-minute cramming. The professional world. Procrastination doesn't magically disappear when we graduate. It follows us into the workplace, where its consequences can be even more severe. Missed deadlines damage our reputation and relationships with colleagues. Stunted career growth results from poor performance and missed promotions. Lower productivity means more wasted time and energy. Financial insecurity often follows, as research shows chronic procrastinators tend to earn less, experience more unemployment, and have shorter job tenures. Colossians 3:23 reminds us, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters." So, my friends, as we've seen, procrastination is not a small issue. It is a serious obstacle to living a life of success, peace, and purpose. It steals our time, it burdens our minds, it weakens our bodies, it limits our opportunities, and it even threatens our spiritual growth. But here's the good news. Procrastination doesn't have to define us. Every day is a new chance to break the cycle. Every moment is an opportunity to choose action over delay, diligence over distraction, faith over fear. The Apostle Paul writes in Ephesians 5:15-16, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Notice that phrase, making the most of every opportunity. That is the antidote to procrastination. It is about choosing to act today, not tomorrow. So I challenge you, think about the things you've been putting off, whether it's an assignment, a project, a health checkup, a financial decision, or even a step of faith that God has placed on your heart. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time will never come. The right time is now. Remember, procrastination is the enemy of success, but discipline and action are the allies of destiny. Your future self will thank you for the steps you take today. So let us rise above delay, cast off the weight of procrastination, and embrace the gift of today with courage, diligence, and faith. Because when we do, we not only free ourselves from stress and regret, we step into the fullness of the life we were created to live. You are loved. Now go be great.